Happy Wednesday morning. I'm NTV Chief Meteorologist Eddie Shear. Now 8:08 on our Wednesday, and this is like a pseudo podcast with video slash morning weather vlog. As we take a look at a few of the webcams from around Newfoundland this morning, we can see various amounts of weather currently on the go. In St. John's, New Gower Street here does appear to be just wet, but we are indeed seeing freezing rain falling, so certainly be careful if you're going to be walking, especially on any unpaved surfaces. As I look out the window here in Torbay, I can see that my deck is definitely getting a bit slippery, and the grass is starting to get that coating of ice on it. Into Clarenville, looks like we are seeing a mix of freezing rain and some snow right now, but it does look like that rain-snow line is somewhere between Clarenville and Gander, as in Gander we are seeing just plain old snow this morning, and that's where roads across the island do start to get rather treacherous. It's basically west of Clarenville, where I do expect snow to fall most of today, which is where we're going to see the worst of the travel conditions. Into Corner Brook, TCH just appears to be wet, and at the moment at least, snow does not appear to be falling overly heavy in the Corner Brook area. As we take a look at the current weather warnings from Environment Canada, the freezing rain warning is still in effect for the Avalon Peninsula, Burin Peninsula, Canagra, Burgeo-Ramia. Snowfall warning still up for Buckens in the interior, Deer Lake, Humber Valley, Green Bay, White Bay, Grand Falls, Windsor and vicinity, Gander and vicinity, Bay of Exploits, and Bonavista North for snowfall today, perhaps exceeding 20 centimeters in some areas. And a weather warning issued for Clarenville and vicinity and for Terra Nova and the Bonavista Peninsula for basically a mix of snow and ice pellets. That's going to be falling as we go throughout the day today. So far as the radar is concerned, over the last 3 hours, we just have a big old mess right now. Areas south are near or above freezing, but areas north are below freezing. And as we see in St. John's, -2, with the purples and pink showing up, indicating ice pellet and freezing rain. And the radar indicates, as I was just suggesting, that rain snow line is somewhere to the west of Clarenville, likely around Terra Nova. Temperature there currently -2. In Gander, we're down to -4 with the snow falling. And then across the west coast, Corner Brook, you're 0, but Stephenville seeing rain in 3, Port aux Basques rain in 1, and Burgeo currently rain and 2. And as we go over to the live radar, what we can see is basically what that image was showing us. We see that rain snow line somewhere in the vicinity of Terra Nova. As we get back just past Clarenville, it looks like that's where the rain snow line is currently showing up. But across the Avalon Peninsula, that's where we're seeing the messiest of the weather right now. And same thing back to the Burin Peninsula, where we are seeing basically the freezing rain and rain, although most of what's falling over land does appear to be freezing rain. And as we go throughout the morning, this will likely get heavier, and the snow across central and western Newfoundland will also get heavier. And as I back the view out a bit, what we can see is we have more in the way of that moisture down to our southwest. And notice this area right here, that swirl there, that's our area of low pressure. And in and around that low, that's where we are seeing some fairly intense precipitation. You can see the oranges and yellow showing up on the radar there east of Cape Breton Island. So as this precipitation works across the island as we go throughout the morning and into the afternoon, the precipitation rates, be it freezing rain, be it snow, or be it rain, will increase before everything begins to taper down from southwest to northeast as we go into this afternoon and this evening. Futurecast will do a pretty good job showing this for us as well. Here's the forecast for 8 o'clock this morning. There's that heavy precipitation, and again, this is going to move across eastern areas of Newfoundland. So whatever's falling, that's what the heavy precip is going to fall as. Could be ice pellets, could be freezing rain, or could be snow. So as we set this into motion, there's that potentially very heavy period of freezing rain later this morning into the early afternoon across the Avalon Peninsula. Notice we have the yellows and reds showing up by lunchtime. Hopefully for southwestern areas, that's falling as just rain. Computer has a temperature at 1 for Trepassey and Placentia by midday. But in St. John's, we're still near freezing. And up towards Beta Verde, Carbonear, Harbor Grace, Heart's Content, Heart's Delight, Islington, temperatures there are going to be near -1 as well. So that may fall as some heavy freezing rain for a little while. And it looks like that moves offshore by 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Areas south start to go above freezing, but areas north generally stay near or below, and I think that actually may be the case. So in St. John's and up towards Greats Cove and Bay de Verde and the Bonavista Vista Peninsula in Clarenville, I'm not sure we actually see temperatures going more than a couple tenths of a degree above freezing. Maybe not even that. Because once the low moves by, which it will do later this evening, winds turn northerly, which means temperatures are going to stay near or below freezing for areas that do face north. And the computer here showing by 6 o'clock St. John's perhaps up to just 1, but it's going to be short-lived. As we go into 9 o'clock, we're back to freezing, but all the precip has moved offshore by that time, most of which has fallen as moderate to heavy snowfall across portions of central and northeastern Newfoundland. And by midnight, we see northerly winds, quiet conditions as we await the arrival of tomorrow's storm, which will arrive in the afternoon hours for many of us and will bring more rain and snow. Talk about that one later. By the end of today, here's what I'm thinking so far as snow, ice, and rain amounts. Southern part of the Burin Peninsula, there will be a bit of freezing rain here, but most of what falls should fall as rain up to 25 mils. As we go farther north, we get the freezing rain for the northern two-thirds of the Burin Peninsula, a good chunk of the Conagra, Fortune Bay, Bay d'Espoir region, and it looks like Stephenville may see mainly rain, not freezing rain, so take that for what it's worth. But areas north of the areas on the northern part of the Burin Peninsula to about Clarenville and the Avalon, up to 15 millimeters of freezing rain. And again, that could cause some localized power disruptions. That does not mean I'm saying there's going to be widespread power outages. It just means that a neighborhood here, a neighborhood there, a community here, a community there may see the power go out for a little while. We're not going to see that much ice with this, but it is enough to cause some localized power disruptions. So certainly keep that in mind. Shouldn't last very long if we do get them as well. Folks at Newfoundland Power and NL Hydro seem to be very good at getting power back on once it goes off. And then into central Newfoundland, we see the most snow out of this, 25 centimeters. And then between the freezing rain and the snow, we see a little bit less snow because there will be some ice pellets mixing in at times. In Clarenville, you're going to see a pretty well mix of everything today. You'll see some freezing rain. You'll also see some snow and some ice pellets. While on the Bonavista Vista Peninsula, it looks like some snow, 10, 15 centimeters, and also some ice pellets and freezing rain. And the more the freezing rain and ice pellet we get, the less snow, obviously, there will be. All right, folks, that's your morning update. Hope you have a pretty good idea as to what we can expect throughout the rest of today. I'll have a forecast update for you this afternoon or this evening as this is winding down and the next storm begins to take shape and move in, which looks a little more wintry for areas that are seeing freezing rain and rain today. All right, have a great morning, have a great afternoon, and I'll see you this evening starting at 5:30 on First Edition, and then 6 and 7 on the Evening News Hour.